defense and Steve
Yeah.
Wilks.
We just
Um,
talked about, you just said primetime Kirk Cousins. Well, this defense made primetime Kirk Cousins look like an elite quarterback. So, what is up with that? Really quickly, I think I would love to have you address Kyle Shanahan in his press conference today when asked about Steve Wilks' decision to blitz with 16 seconds left in the first half, said that speaking for Steve Wilks, said that he knows that that was the wrong decision and a mistake. And he seemed extremely disappointed and definitely kind of pushed that blame off to Steve Wilks, which is kind of ironic because I'm pretty sure that Kyle Shanahan is also in the headset when they make those decisions. But yeah, as a whole, the defenses looked really bad. But we're going to start with Steve Wilks and with his decision making that he's had as a play caller. What did you think of that decision going into the first half? And do you think that that was a pivotal change in the game?
you could kind of say that lost us the game, and it was a really big key moment, because it was going to go into, I believe it was going to go into half, tied up if I'm not mistaken, or we're going to be down like 2 points. I think it's going to be 14-7 or no, yes, 7. We had 7 at the half. They
Yeah,
scored 9 in the second quarter. Take away 7, that's 2. Yeah, 9 points, I believe. I might be
that was great
mistaken.
math. I feel
I'm
like
not that
maybe you
great.
wanted me to do math, but that
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
I was a
But
psych major. I had to do some stats, and that was really hard. And then I never did math again. But I'm
yeah,
proud of you for what you just did.
I believe they had, I believe at one point it was 10. They had 10. They ended up missing their extra point on the touchdown, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, so they had 10. So it was 7-10 going, about to go into the half. They end up scoring a touchdown. 7-10 is very reasonable because you get the ball back at the half. Now you do a cover zero blitz, no one over the top. Now Tarvarius Ward got to make that interception. Now I don't like the process. I don't like the results, but the results could have been completely different. Now that was a Greg Williams esque call, going an all out blitz, cover zero, no one over the top. That's the one of the worst play calls I've seen from a 49ers defensive coordinator in a very, very long time. Ridiculous. Now, Kyle throwing the blame at Steve Wilks is also very weird. You hired him. Like, you literally hired him as your defensive coordinator. Why are you throwing the blame at him? Just take the blame. You're the head coach. Take the blame. Like, hey, that's on me. I believe we
That's
had
the
time.
job of the head coach. I hate when you meet people like that in the workforce or just anywhere. It's like deal with things in house. Don't like self people who are like in it for self preservation, which I know as a coach is hard. I think Kyle Shanahan, when he was asked what the number one thing he learned from watching his dad as a head coach, he said he learned how to not get fired. But sorry, that was just a side note. I just feel like
Oh,
you
yeah.
you
Like,
you can't be like throwing people under the bus for self preservation. That's not
and
a
I
cool way
think,
to go about life.
I'm pretty sure we had a timeout at that point. I'm not mistaken. If I'm not
We
mistaken,
did.
if I'm,
We did.
we might have had. It's like, hey, Kyle, you could go call a timeout if you don't like the call versus what the offense is showing you. Like, if that at the end of the day, it falls on you, right? Like, at the end of the day, that's on you, Kyle. Now, I get the defense coordinator should not be calling that in that situation, especially with 16 seconds left and all that situation. The terrible play call. At the end of the day, that's on Kyle. Um, you have a timeout, use it. You know what your defense coordinator just called. You see the look that the offense is giving you. You can sprint down and call a timeout. I don't like that from Kyle. I really don't. I thought he was growing from doing stuff like that,
I
and he's
know.
reverting back to his old ways, and it's kind of weird to see. But it is, at the end of the day, defensive line got
Defensive line got home.
the defense line
Didn't
got
get home.
that didn't get home. They absolutely didn't get